Hello, everybody. This is my TNA Turning Point review, and the first thing I have to say about that is, what the fuck was that? That was good. That was enjoyable. I really liked this show, and not because of any of the undercard, but the two main matches that I wanted to see, which was the triple threat between Joe, AJ, and Daniels, and Angle versus Nigel, Desmond, delivered. They were great. But I've got to talk about the rest of the card and give a show rating before that happens. The first match was Amazing Red versus Homicide. I didn't really get into this match. It might have been because I'd only woken up before then, because they're on fairly early in the morning, 12, whatever. And so I wasn't too into it. But I kind of felt, while Homicide was good and enjoyable to watch and showed some more personality, the match really didn't. It wasn't what I expected from an opener. As I said, while it was good and enjoyable, it wasn't full of spots like I expect from an X Division opener. It wasn't over the top and crazy, but it was an entertaining match, 2 3/4 stars, and there was only one major botch from it. So, and that's kind of as far as it goes. Then there was Sarita, ODB, and Taylor Wilde versus the Beautiful People. When one of the Beautiful People got into the ring, I can't remember which one it was, but she bent over the second rope, and I'm thankful that nobody else saw it other than me and my friend James, but I could see everything. She bent over, they zoomed in, and I could see everything. But yeah, this match was terrible. Well, not terrible. It was. I don't know. I was just sitting there. Oh God, this is. Ugh. The Beautiful People, none of them can wrestle. And Sarita, ODB, and Taylor Wilde, while they're good in the ring, they couldn't carry them. But the best part about this match that my favorite part of the match was when someone held a sign that says Lacey Von Botch, and it wasn't very witty or original, but I still enjoyed it more than the actual match. I went, that's more entertainment than I got from the match. 1 star. It wasn't completely terrible, but I don't know what it was. I don't even know why it was on the show. I can't even remember what made them want to do that. Then we had British Invasion versus Beer Money versus Motor City Machine Guns. And this match, I began to think I had a brain tumor, because I got this really bad headache, and I noticed how every time a spot was hit, the camera would zoom in and shake a bit, and it really got on my nerves. And I noticed that the production was rather bad for the whole night, but it's TNA, so whatever. And the camera angles kept switching so quickly because it was a 3-way tag match, and it really gave me a bad headache. But I thought the match itself was solid. It was okay. The finish was terrible with Kevin Nash hitting James Storm with the Legends title after taking it from Eric Young, who ran in for, I can't exactly remember why. That's how much of an impression it left on me. And the Motor City Machine Guns just vanished at that point. If you just wanted to have a 2-on-2, there was 2 teams that mattered, British Invasion and Beer Money. Why not just have a British Invasion and Beer Money in the match? Not involve, you don't need to involve the Motor City Machine Guns, but they did. Whatever. It was a stupid swerve. I just don't care. It's one of those things that, but that's one of the few gripes I really have. There are many gripes I have with the show, but the good outweighed the bad, I felt. Then we had Tara versus Awesome Kong in a cage match. I don't know why it was in a cage match. I think everyone's asking why it was in a cage match. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good, because they're both good workers. While it wasn't the most exciting match, it was solid. Tara's work was good enough to kind of keep me entertained. Awesome Kong always keeps me entertained. There was what was supposed to be, I think, a crossbody off the top of the cage turned into kind of a loose heads press, but into the missionary position from Tara, and she won the match, and she was crying. The match itself, I'll give 3 stars. And the British Invasion versus BMA versus Motor City Machine Guns, I'll give 2 3/4. So 3 stars for that women's cage match. It was better than most women's matches I'd ever see. I thought it could have been a lot better, but it was good. I mean, and they actually sold Tara was happy with winning the match. She she was crying, and they had the spider, and then usually they just cut away, but they actually sold that she was happy to win the match. Next match was Rhino and Team 3D versus Hernandez, Matt Morgan, and Pope Angelo Dinero. I thought, I don't know why, but at this point my brain tumor was getting worse from the production. But the story was that Pope might turn on the partners, but he didn't, and he was really the saving grace of this match. If it wasn't for him in the match, I wouldn't have cared. There wasn't really too much to this match. There really isn't anything to say. It was a typical 6-man tag match. It should have been a match on Impact. It was just there for an angle. There was nothing about it. 2 stars, I suppose. Look, if you want me to talk about the match, I really can't. If you watch the match, you'll have unless you write notes, you'll have a hard time talking about it. Bobby Lashley versus Scott Steiner. I love this match, but for all the wrong reasons. It was a Falls Count Anywhere, no DQ match. They were beating the crap out of each other around the building. And the cameramen, they couldn't hold a camera still, but they would follow them around with the camera shaking and then just stop. They either ran out of cable or whatever. They just stopped. And so they'd be going off, and for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds, I'd be sitting there. What am I looking at? I'm looking at a wall. It was just funny. A really funny match, and it wasn't supposed to be, but I can't help it. I just love this match. There's a bit where Bobby Lashley had a 2x4 or something and was just hitting Steiner in the arm with it. I think it was pretty broken or something, or they were expecting to snap. He's hitting Steiner with it. Steiner's just screaming out, "Ow! Ow! Ow!" It was funny to me. The finish of the match there, near the Spanish announce table, Steiner's walking up the stairs. Bobby Lashley grabs him from behind. He just boots him in the stomach, grabs a pole, hits Lashley in the head with it, then pins him. Nearly falls over when he hits him while coming down the stairs, pins him, wins the match. And Steiner really came out getting a lot of rub from this match, and Lashley looked like shit from it. Kurt Angle versus Desmond Wolfe. Bobby Lashley versus Scott Steiner, 2 stars, but as I said, for all the wrong reasons. Desmond Wolfe versus Kurt Angle. There was obviously a portion of smart fans, and that was good because they really helped this match out. Because Desmond Wolfe doesn't have a lot of over spots in this match, but he got to do all of the spots, and there was some reaction to them. This match really was a good match to really showcase Desmond Wolfe as a wrestler, and it was a really good match. It went for about 15 minutes. But in that 15 minutes, they gave a 4-star match performance because there was enough people in the crowd that got into it, that kind of got the rest of the crowd into it. The smart fans kind of got the casual fans into it with their reaction because it added some heat to the match. There was "This is awesome, this is wrestling, you're both awesome" chants. There was a lot of technical wrestling. Of course, the pinfalls had no heat, but the submission holds did. The fans knew that this match should have been ending with a submission because that's what they were popping for. And that's what I felt they should have been really focusing on, and that was the submission holds. And that's how the match finished. It kind of finished out of nowhere with a triangle choke, but having said that, it kind of made sense because it kind of showed Kurt Angle as a wily veteran because Desmond thought he was going for an armbar, but he turned it into a triangle choke. Made sense. Worked. 4 stars. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it would probably be the best match. But then AJ versus Daniels versus Joe for the world titles on. I thought, Joe isn't as mobile as he used to be, either as AJ and either as Daniels. But the match really turned out really good. If you liked the match that they were playing off, which was the match from 2005 at Unbreakable, then you'll like this match because it was that same style of match where it was just high impact, complex spots, and lots of them. And, that's the match I did want to see. I didn't want to see anything like what I'd seen in the previous match with Nigel versus Angle in terms of technical wrestling. But that was a good thing because it was different enough from the last match that it stood out and the crowd, it was really hot for it. They even threw streamers for it. And I was like, Jesus, there really are some, Ring of Honor fans, it seems, here. And the crowd was so hot for it that it really added for the match as well. They kind of died down a little near the end. My friend felt they'd kind of hit their peak and kept going, but I didn't think that at all because the crowd was still... I think they might have been a bit worn out, but I didn't think they'd hit their peak and kept going because I thought the actual wrestling was getting better. Maybe the crowd had hit their peak. It's a bit more complicated, and I don't have the time to explain it, but yeah, if you really like the first match, you'll really like this one. 4.5 stars. The show as a whole, I'll give it an 8, and it's really for those last 2 matches that we need to see more pay-per-views of this quality. And a funny thing is, with the AJ versus Daniels versus Joe match for the world title, there was a chant of "fuck Hulk Hogan" or "screw Hulk Hogan" or something. Yeah, that's one of the way. That's how I felt. Why did they need to bring in all these old guys from other companies who've made their names from other companies when you've got such a talented roster already? But whatever. This isn't the time nor the place for me to get into a bit of a rant. 8 out of 10. I really love this pay-per-view. Thanks for watching.